All right, on to the Byzantine Empire. In your notes, we just finished with the Holy Roman Empire and Charlemagne, yeah? And now we're down here. The Byzantine Empire. Sometimes you'll hear people say Byzantine, okay? It's named after the city that was there to begin with, Byzantium. One of your documents is, oh, just kidding, spoiler alert, we're not there yet. Never mind. Okay, anyway, the Byzantine Empire. Okay, a little bit of background. This purple right here is the Byzantine Empire, okay? But what you're looking at in color, the orange and the purple, is the Roman Empire. Now, we don't cover the Roman Empire in this class. Pre-AP does, y'all don't. But when the Roman Empire started to get weak, okay, in the 300s, we have an emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, Constantine. Emperor Constantine separates the Holy Roman Empire, I'm sorry, not the Holy, just kidding, the Roman Empire into two. We have the Western Empire over here, and we have the Eastern Empire over here, okay? The capital city of the Western Empire is Rome. The capital city of the Eastern Empire is Byzantium, except he changes the name of Byzantium to fit him. His name is Constantine. Therefore, he names the city Constantinople. Constantinople is right here, okay? There's actually, you can't see it in this picture. Well, I guess you kind of can, but you can't see it well in this picture. There's actually a waterway right here from the Black Sea here. And Byzantium, Constantinople is its new name. It's a little bit on this side of that waterway and a little bit on this side of that waterway. Now, today, Constantinople has a new name. It's not Constantinople anymore. It's not even the Byzantine Empire. I'm sorry, Byzantium anymore. It's something else. Okay. When Rome falls. When Rome falls in the 400s, it's not all of Rome that falls. It's the Western Roman Empire, all of this orange. This purple part here, the Eastern Roman Empire, is still intact and it is still very Roman in nature. Well, by now, by the 1200s, this isn't Roman anymore. It's its own thing. It has its own culture. So they drop calling it the Eastern Roman Empire and they call it the Byzantine Empire, based on the original name of the city, Byzantium. Look at this map right here. What you're looking at here is the Holy Roman Empire, yeah? The Byzantine Empire is right here, okay? It does come down this way. Look at the other map. It does come down this way, except that has been kind of like taken over by now by Muslims. It's Muslim controlled now, all right? You also have a group of Muslims this way. They're called the Seljuq, S-E-L-J-U-K, the Seljuq Turks. And they are starting to move in. That matters. Not yet, not until the 1400s, but it does matter, okay? So the Turks are like right here, like right on the Byzantine doorsteps, alrighty? And just a little side note, a little spoiler alert. Today, this is the country of Turkey. But while the Byzantine Empire does exist, in the medieval period, it's this right here, okay? The city of Constantinople is right here. In fact, in this map, you can see that waterway pretty well. This is the Black Sea over here. And coming down right here is that waterway, which means the capital city of Constantinople, which used to be called Byzantium, is on this side of that waterway, and it's on this side of that waterway, okay? Well, what's the church, the Christian church in Europe at this point? Do we have Methodist churches yet? Do we have Catholic? No, that's wrong. We do have Catholic churches. Do we have Baptist churches yet? Do we have Presbyterian churches yet? Nope. What Christian church exists at this point in Europe? Guys, there's only one officially, the Catholic Church. There are like little pockets of different groups called like Anabaptists and stuff, but not like a church, all right? If you're a Christian, the only church you're a part of is the Catholic Church. That's it. Well, who's at the top of the Catholic Church? The Pope, right? Where does the Pope live? Rome, right? Who's the Pope in charge of? Everybody, including the kings. And we start to have some issues here, where the Byzantine Empire over here is saying, wait a minute, why do I have to listen to this Pope who's in charge over here? He's not even part of our empire, and he's telling me who to put in charge of things? I don't think so. So what's going to end up happening is a split in the Christian church. It's called I want you to see this word. It's called a schism. I think that's a cool word right here. A schism is just a divide. It's a divide. The way that my room is set up in the classroom with the V, there is a schism between the two sections of desks, between the nobles and the peasants. There's a schism, there's a divide. The Grand Canyon is a schism between the land on both sides. It's just a divide, okay? Well, the Great Schism. It also is often called the East-West Schism, because what we're going to have happen with the Great Schism, the Byzantine Empire creates a new type of Christian church, one that fits them a little bit better, okay? Basically, we're going to end up with the Roman Catholic Church in the West. That's what all of this orange is. The Roman Catholic Church in the West. And then we're going to end up with a new Christian church called the Eastern, or sometimes you'll hear it called the Greek Orthodox Church. And that is what is blue on this map. Okay? So, some of the differences. The Roman Catholic Church, the city center of the Roman Catholic Church is Rome, where the Pope is from. The city center of the Orthodox Church, almost said the Byzantine, nope, of the Eastern Orthodox Church is right here, Constantinople. The language that is spoken in the Roman Catholic Church at this point in history is Latin. Every church service was in Latin back then. Not your language, Latin. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, every church service was in Greek. This right here is Greece, right here. Greek was considered the educated language for the Byzantine Empire. So whereas Latin is the educated language in the West, Greek is the educated language in the East. So Greek is what all church services are done in. Latin is what all Catholic church services are done in. The person in charge of the Roman Catholic Church is the Pope. The person in charge of the Eastern Orthodox Church is called the Patriarch. And there's a huge difference between the two. The Pope crowns kings in the Roman Catholic Church. The Pope tells kings what to do. He's above the king. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, that is not the case. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, the Patriarch is appointed by the Emperor of the Byzantine Empire. There's a flip-flop in power. Over here in the West, the Pope is in charge. Over here in the East, the Emperor is in charge. Are you with me? Now, are some of the kings, the emperors over here, going to be like, dude, I want that control. I want that power? Yes. There is going to be a situation. Look right here. I told you earlier. Here we go. I told you earlier that people who don't like work in the church, not clergy, they are called laymen. Yeah? Well, there is a situation in the medieval period. It's called the Lay Investiture Controversy. The Pope, what's the word? Appoints. The Pope appoints who's in charge as far as like cardinals and bishops and stuff like that. And kings were like, no. If these people work in my country, I should get to appoint them. So kings just start appointing them. The Pope is like, no, can't do this. There ends up being like a war fought over this. And eventually, after this like 50-year war, which is kind of weird to think about, like the Pope's army, did you even know that existed? Oh, yeah. The Pope's army is fighting the emperor and the king's armies. It's kind of weird. But after roughly 50-ish years, the Pope won. Duh. The Pope wins, and basically he gets to appoint people. So there is a definite difference between the East and the West, the Eastern Orthodox and the Roman Catholic in the West. Again, the three big things you need to remember. Oops, wrong map. The city that's important. In the West, Rome. In the East, Constantinople. The language that is dealt with. In the West, Latin. In the East, Greek. And then the position of the Pope or Patriarch. In the West, the Pope is above the king. In the East, the Patriarch is below the king, and the king actually appoints who the Patriarch is going to be. Make sense? Guys, the Gothic period especially. I mean, other times in the medieval period, but the Gothic period especially, roughly the year 1000 to about 1250. It is a power struggle between the kings and emperors of the Catholic Church and the popes of the Catholic Church. And you constantly have them butting heads and trying to appoint people. And unfortunately, during this time, and even into the Renaissance, the papal states, the popes' control becomes very political. Not so much spiritual like it probably should be, or like it was even intended to be, but it becomes very political. The Pope has a very political place in the Roman Catholic Church and in the Western, like medieval area. Okay. All right. So that takes us down to here. Look right here. One of the things that happens in the Byzantine Empire, I mentioned that the Turks are there. Yeah. Okay. Look at the dates. This is right in the middle of the Gothic period. Okay. 1000s, 1200s. Which map? This one. Look right here. Oh, this is cool. If you want to like pause this or whatever. In class, I told everybody it's not a bad idea to like take a picture of this and put it in your notes or whatever. If you want to pause this and write some of this stuff down, not a bad idea. Both churches, the Eastern Orthodox and the Roman Catholic, both believe in the divinity, that Jesus is divine. Both use specific sacraments and stuff. I mean, they're both Christian churches. They're just a little bit different in how they choose to do things. It's like if you're Baptist and your best friend is Methodist, you both believe in Jesus. You just do things a little bit different. Okay, look at this. The Byzantine Empire is right here. Do you see this white line right here? We'll just do this. This white line right here. Okay, the Byzantine Empire. I mentioned the Turks. The Turks originally were a Muslim like tribe, like a clan, and they were just kind of nomadic roaming around. Okay. Well, not anymore. They have settled, all right, and they're starting to push and expand. As they push and expand into old Byzantine controlled areas, the Byzantine Empire is fighting them. I mean, they don't want their territory taken away from them. Something happens. Dun, dun, dun. This right here is an area of land that's known as Palestine. Today, it's the countries, basically, of like Palestine and what is this? Israel. Okay. Okay. The city of Jerusalem, right here, is a holy city for 3 different religions, which is really cool and really bad at the same time. Jerusalem is a holy city for the Jews. Okay. It has been forever. Like it was the place where the temple was, and that's where everybody worshiped forever ago. We're talking like before the Roman Empire. We're talking like forever ago, 4,000 years ago. Yeah. It's also holy for Christians. It's where Jesus was crucified, just outside of the city. It's also holy for Muslims. Muhammad did a lot of his stuff there. Why can't everybody just share Jerusalem and everybody just get along? Duh, because we're human beings and that's not how we operate. Up to this point, Jerusalem had been controlled by the Byzantine Empire. Okay? And the Byzantine Empire was a Christian empire. Yeah. And so Europe, because they're Christian, even though they're 2 different versions of Christian, it's okay. They're still Christian. Europe, the rest of Europe is okay with that. Jews are okay-ish with that. Well, as soon as the Muslims take over Jerusalem, all Hades breaks loose. All of a sudden, the Byzantine Empire, okay, sends word to the Pope in Rome. Oh my gosh, the Muslims have taken over our holy city. Oh my gosh, they can't control our holy city. What are we going to do? This is the end of the world. The Muslims own our holy city. Please help us. So, Pope Urban II, that's his name, Pope Urban II. This is a picture of him right here. Oops, my big old head's in the way. Here we go. This is a picture of Pope Urban II right here, telling people, let's go fight the crusade. Let's get rid of the infidels, the non-Christians, the Muslims, okay? Oh, there's a dog at the door. The way that Pope Urban II gets people to go fight against the Muslims, most people aren't like, I mean, if I said right now, I don't know, go fight against a group of people in another country, you'd be like, not my problem. But they took over your religion, what you worship. Not my problem. Our mindset today is kind of not my problem-ish. Yeah? So is theirs. They're human beings just like we are. They're like, yeah, I don't want to go fight for not my land. Let the Byzantine Empire deal with it. Urban II's not getting a ton of people to go until he says, God wants this war fought. If you go fight this war, all of your sins will be forgiven. Whatever terrible things you did, automatic forgiveness. You are no longer damned, you're going to heaven. Everybody and their dog jumps to that. Everybody. All tons of people. Look at the map again. Here we go. Tons of Europeans in the First Crusade. Flood over. This one right here, this dark purple, is basically the route of the First Crusade. The dark purple. Did you hear what I said? The First Crusade. And by the way, the word crusade is basically the same thing as the Muslim jihad. It is a war fought for your God. That's it. The Muslims come this, oh, I'm sorry. The Christians come this way from Western Europe to help the Byzantine Empire fight the Muslims and kick them out. And they do. Look. Let me go up this way so you can see better. Okay, look. All of this right here, this color, that orangey color, is what is regained after the First Crusade. The Christians win the First Crusade, okay? The Christians win, the Muslims leave, they get out of Jerusalem, they get out of Palestine, they get out of like the Holy Land, they move out, yes? And then a whole ton of the Christians just turn around and go right back to Europe. They're like, all right, we did it, bye. And they just leave. Okay, I've told you before in class, if you want to take over something and actually hold on to that land, you better leave people there to make sure that you hold on to that land. The Western Christians, the what is it, Roman Catholic Church, they help the Byzantine Empire and then they leave. Yes, Bob might stay over here, okay? But the vast majority of them come back over here, all right? Back into the West. Well, with the Europeans pulling out of this area, the Muslims just move back in. Guys, look at the dates. Look at this. The First Crusade, 1096 to 1099. Yeah? The Second Crusade, 1149. 50 years later, the Muslims have taken this over and the Christians go back to help the Byzantine Empire fight the Muslims. Can you hear that? That's like the loudest whisper ever. I said that was the loudest whisper ever. Anyway, the Second Crusade is totally lost by the Christians. They lose. And in fact, the leader of the Second Crusade is my second most favorite guy in all of history. Not because of the Crusades. That's just like a side note in his story. It's fun. Henry II Plantagenet, he's one of the leaders. We'll get there. And then look at the date. So the Second Crusade ends, the Second Crusade ends in 1149. Yeah? Look at that. There's whispering across the table. 40 years later, we have the Third Crusade, led by Richard the Lionheart of England. Let's go back. They lose the Third Crusade. So we have a Fourth Crusade. Look at this. 10 years later, we have a Fourth Crusade. They come back. They lose. Okay, listen. There's a ton of crusades. A ton. Like double digits. Okay? There's like 10 or so official and then a few unofficial. The Poor Man's Crusade and the Children's Crusade. The Christians win the first one. And that's it. That's it. They keep marching back over here, fighting and losing. One of the real negatives that this has is, of course, Europeans are dying and stuff, but more importantly, all of these popes, and it's not always Pope Urban II, he called for the First Crusade. He didn't call for all these others. Pope Urban II, all these popes keep saying, God wants us to go. And then they lose. And so people are going, did you really ask God? Do you really talk to God? I don't think so. People are actually starting to distrust the popes because they keep calling for crusades and the Christians keep losing. One of the positives that comes out of this is trade, but not goods. Goods have always been traded back and forth. Educational trade. Guys, again, I've told you this. I love the medieval Europeans, but they are not known for overly educated. They're not. They're going to get books from over here. They'll take these books back. They'll learn how to read. In the medieval period, we didn't have a lot of ancient Greek or ancient Roman books. This is Greece right here. Ancient Greece. You've heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, okay? I know you don't deal with it in AP, but you've heard of those guys, right? Right? That being said, the Europeans didn't know their stuff, but they go to the East and they can get a hold of those books. They take those books back home and then they start reading them, and it's like, whoa, I'm being educated. Okay. Another bad thing about the Crusades. See, we have good, we have bad, we have good, we have bad. Another bad thing though about the Crusade. It starts this, I don't know, this back and forth between Christians and Muslims of just distrusting each other. Not working together, but always distrusting. Guys, that goes into today. We're in the 20 somethings. And this, look at this. That was 1,000 years ago. And we still have trust issues in the West and in the East between Muslims and Christians. And it really gets going here. It's really sad, actually. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, Byzantine Empire, Crusades, done and done. We're going to deal with my favorite person in all of history.